They thought she was weak, until she fought back in front of everyone. I transferred to Westbrook High in the middle of junior year, hoping to finally disappear into the crowd for once in my life. My mom called it a fresh start, like it was something bright and promising, but to me it just meant new hallways, new faces, and, most likely, new people waiting to pick me apart. I'd been the new girl too many times before, and I knew exactly how it worked. They smile the first day. Then come the whispers, the stares, and eventually, someone decides you don't belong. But what made this move different wasn't the school. It was me. I wasn't the same girl I used to be. Not after what happened in Philly. Not after Dad left. Not after I learned how to fight. I didn't plan on using what I knew. My Aunt Renee, who took me in after Mom fell deep into her third relapse, made me promise I'd keep my head down. No trouble, no drama, no fights. "You're not on your own anymore," she said. "You don't have to swing first." So, I wore my hoodie low, kept my headphones in, and focused on counting down the days until graduation. But then came the first lunch period, and the first time I saw what Westbrook High really was. 3 guys at a corner table, big, loud, and surrounded by laughter that didn't reach the eyes of the kids sitting near them. They made jokes that stung, threw food at the quiet kids, and called one boy Twitcher Tim like it was a nickname instead of a weapon. I didn't want to care, but I couldn't help watching the way people flinched when they walked past. The way no one said a damn word. Then I met Maya. Maya had this wild, curly red hair and eyes that looked like they'd seen too much for 16. She sat next to me in biology, noticed my Iron Fist sticker on my notebook, and asked if I liked martial arts. I said, "Used to," and she lit up like that was the best thing she'd heard in weeks. She told me she did jujitsu, but only in secret, because her dad thought it made girls too aggressive. We bonded fast, too fast maybe, and suddenly I wasn't invisible anymore. I had a friend, someone to walk with, someone who got it. Then came Jordan. He was one of the bullies, the worst one, honestly. Slick smile, rich parents, always holding court in the middle of the hallway like he owned the air people breathed. One day after gym, he walked up behind Maya and snapped her bra strap. Just like that. Loud enough for the guys to laugh, soft enough to pretend it was a joke. She froze, turned red, and tried to laugh it off. But I saw her hands trembling. And I broke my promise. I grabbed his wrist before he could walk away, twisted just enough to make him wince, and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "Touch her again, and I'll break your fingers." He laughed, of course, and the others called me psycho. But I saw it, the flicker of fear in his eyes. He wasn't used to being touched, let alone threatened. The next few days were a blur. Rumors spread fast, some true, some twisted beyond recognition. Suddenly, I was the crazy girl from Philly who stabbed a guy. I hadn't, obviously, but I didn't correct them. Fear worked. Jordan and his boys backed off for a while, but they weren't done. They waited. One afternoon, Maya and I found our lockers covered in Sharpie. Slurs, crude drawings. "Fight me," scrawled across mine in all caps. I ignored it. Aunt Renee begged me to go to the principal. But what could I say? Please punish the golden boy of Westbrook and his varsity football friends for being jerks. Yeah, that'd go well. Then came Friday. We were walking home when Jordan and 2 of his friends pulled up beside us in his dad's black Escalade. They didn't say a word, just got out and followed us into the alley shortcut behind the library. I knew then what they were planning, and I smiled. They lunged first. One grabbed Maya's hair. I spun, ducked under a wild swing, and landed a jab to the ribs that made him fold. Jordan rushed me. I sidestepped, swept his legs, and pinned him with my knee on his chest. "I warned you," I whispered. "Now you'll remember." What I didn't know was that someone was filming from a nearby balcony. The fight went viral overnight. By Monday, everyone at school had seen it. Some called me a hero. Others said I was violent, unstable, dangerous. The principal suspended me and the boys, of course. Zero tolerance and all that crap. But something changed. People started talking. More students came forward. Stories of Jordan's harassment. Silent tears from kids no one ever noticed before. The administration couldn't ignore it anymore. There were assemblies, counseling sessions, a new policy on bullying. Jordan's father threatened to sue, but it didn't matter. The footage was out. The truth was undeniable. I got called into the office for a meeting with the school board. They asked if I regretted what I did. I told them I didn't regret defending Maya. That if they had done their jobs, I wouldn't have had to. I expected punishment. Instead, they asked me to speak at an anti-bullying seminar. Me, the girl they almost expelled. Now, things are different. Maya and I started a self-defense club. Kids who were afraid to raise their voices now stand a little taller. Some still whisper when I walk by, but not out of fear, out of respect, because they know I'm not afraid anymore. And maybe they don't have to be either. So, yeah. That's how I went from trying to disappear to becoming the girl who made people finally start looking. I didn't ask for it. I didn't plan to be anyone's hero. I just couldn't keep walking with my head down while someone else suffered. And maybe that's what courage really is. Doing what's right, even when it's messy, even when it costs you. Because when you stand up once, you give others the power to stand too. If this story hits you, even just a little, if you've ever felt like you didn't belong, like you had to stay silent to stay safe, know this: you are not alone. And your voice? It matters more than you think. If you've ever stood up for yourself or someone else, drop your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And if this moved you in any way, give the video a like. It really helps more people find these stories. And hey, don't forget to subscribe, because we're just getting started. More stories, more truth, more voices that deserve to be heard. Until next time, stay strong, stay loud, and always stand up for what's right.